Hi there! This is Captain Eddie. Welcome to Manila, Philippines. This is Captain Eddie. Reason being Captain Eddie is that I used to have a radio show at the top rock station here in Manila called NU 107, and my show was called The Crossroads, and I used to play a lot of blues and classic rock. And so, reason for this video is that, I've always been so challenged. Because recently I've been looking at all these people who choose their best LPs from their bunch of records that they own. And I told myself, I've never actually done that, to pull out all these records, or of maybe, let's say, 100 records, like I think I did now, from my 800 records that are in the site here. And I would probably not ever sell these records ever if I were to choose. So I never done that before. But then recently I saw a show a post in the internet, it was on YouTube, of this guy who almost had the same exact taste that I did. So he challenged me, and I did it today. And I'm going to share this with you if you're interested to see, of all of these records that I have here with me. So, you know what? Let me start the show. Okay. All of these are more or less, I think I've got them in alphabetical order, but whatever. It's in no particular order that, of preference. I love them all. So let's start with my favorite southern rock band, the Allman Brothers. This is the Eat a Peach LP. It's a double LP with Duane Allman still playing guitar here. This for me is one of the best LPs of the Allman Brothers. And of course, coming in next is the Brothers and Sister record, this time without the great Duane Allman, with Greg Allman and Dickie Betts and Barry Oakley. And look at the artwork of this record. It's really fabulous, with the fallen leaves, with the kid, just fabulous. I think this is Greg Allman's son. Anyway, this is my favorite Allman Brothers records. I have a few Aretha Franklin records over there. Aretha Franklin live in Paris, Aretha Franklin more, all in the 60s. But this particular greatest hits record encompasses all my favorite songs all in one record right here. And if you notice it, this is still a quadraphonic record. Can you dig that? You can only actually enjoy the quadraphonic if you had a quadraphonic cartridge in your turntable, and of course your amplifier has to have the 4-channel amplification to read each channel. But this is it. This is a 4-channel discrete best of Aretha Franklin. Right on. Okay, this is such an iconic record. For those of you, there's no label or anything, but this is the one and only Blind Faith record with Eric Clapton, Steve Winwood, and the rest of the guys, 4 of them, from 1970. This one was the original cover that they were able to do, but eventually and shortly after it was released, the English government banned this particular cover because of the nudity aspect of this 13-year-old girl holding that iconic airplane. And then they later changed the cover to a regular cover of the Blind Faith. It's too bad that they only made one record, and it's too bad that they were the superstar, they were the super group that never was. But after one record, they surely made their mark in the rock world. I love it. And of course, we come down to the Beatle records. Mind you, all the Beatle records are great. I have the Beatle first LP there, Meet the Beatles, under the VJ label. And I have a whole bunch of Beatles 2, 3. But Rubber Soul, this one, Abbey Road, and Revolver, which I don't have anymore. Somebody borrowed it and never returned it. Anyway, I'll still find one in the future. These are my favorite Beatle records of all time. This one, Revolver, and Abbey Road. fabulous. These guys, man. And we come down to Janis Joplin. Janis Joplin and her iconic psychedelia group from the Bay Area in San Francisco called the Big Brother and the Holding Company. And this is their best LP ever. Just look at the artwork here. Look at the artwork that they did here in this LP. It is just fabulous. For all the Janis Joplin fans, must have this record. Piece of My Heart, by the way, in this LP, her all-time best iconic song. Now, I'm a big fan also of big bands at that time in the 70s. And well, we'll come into that because I have a whole bunch of big band sound. But with regards to Blood, Sweat and Tears, this is my favorite record. This is the first record with Al Kooper. Al Kooper started Blood, Sweat and Tears in 1969 and went on to record this iconic record, this very nice first record. But eventually, after this record, they fell into arguments and Al Kooper left the group, and thus comes in David Clayton Thomas and made this best Blood, Sweat and Tears record right here. And this particular record has "You Made Me So Very Happy," "God Bless a Child," "Spinning Wheel," "Sometimes in Winter." Totally the best record ever of Blood, Sweat and Tears. Must have. Okay, a little bit of Savoy Brown. This is my favorite Savoy Brown record of all of them. The other one that's nice is I don't have them anymore. Savoy Brown, Street Corner Talking. Whew, I wish I still had my record. You know, it's funny how you now that the vinyls are coming back, how you kind of wish that you took care of your records before. I certainly didn't. I had some record that I wouldn't give a shit, about how it's done. Wrong, man. Now I'm so sorry I did it. I have a whole bunch of records there that have seen better days. Jackson Browne. This one is such a beautiful cover. Look at this. Look at this. You take out the record here, and see, so nice. See, such a nice cover. But my favorite Jackson Browne, which I don't have the record anymore, is Jackson Browne, "Running on Empty." I thought I had it. It's gone, man. But this is a nice record for every man. This was done in 1973. One of the must-have Jackson Browne records right here. Okay. Ooh. Airplane. And now we have Kim Carnes. Let's go to the 80s. This is my favorite Kim Carnes of all time. I think she only had a few records, but this one is for me just fabulous. Mistaken Identity. And Betty Davis Eyes is included in this one. Soft and Savvy, man. The Carpenters. These things really give me memories of the time I used to hold hands with my wife and all my other. Oops. But Karen Carpenter and what's his name, Richard Carpenter. They really have. It has to be part of my favorites because it was part of my life, probably part of yours. And of course, we have another big band here. This is Chicago. They used to be called Chicago Transit Authority for the first album. It's a double LP with everybody intact, with Peter Cetera, Terry Capt on guitars. And they had to change their name because they got into trouble with the official train name of Chicago, which is the Chicago Transit Authority. So they had to change it, and they just came in with the second LP called Chicago. These two records for me are a must in every record collection because these two records really, wow, memories are made of these. Mwah. Now, this one is a compilation of all of my favorite, these two records, the best of Eric Clapton, another double LP, and a double LP. All the songs here, Hideaway, Tribute to Elmore, Crossroads, Spoonful, Badge, some of the Cream songs, some of Eric Clapton's favorite songs, and likewise here, these two records are all of the songs that I love of Eric Clapton. I have some of his solo LPs over there, but you know, if I had to choose which ones to keep, I will just keep these two records because all of them are all here. These particular two records. Woo! Eric Clapton, my man, he just turned 72. Not complete without my man Joe Cocker, the late, great Joe Cocker. And this is the Mad Dogs and Englishmen. This is from 1970. This is a Japanese pressed one, and it's still good. And this is where the song Cry Me a River, Honky Tonk Women, Feeling Alright, which incidentally the James Gang likewise did. And of course, look at the backup here. Leon Russell, Carl Radell on drum, on bass, Jim Gordon on drums, just like the backup of Eric Clapton. Joe Cocker. Woo! This is another version. This is a special edition of the first Cream, and see, this is an English-made Polydor special record of the Cream, and this is the Disraeli Gears. These two Cream records are my favorite Cream records of all. This is another Eric Clapton, Ginger Baker, and Eric Clapton, Ginger Baker. Come on, man, I'm getting you. And Jack Bruce. How can I? The late Jack Bruce, the late great. Woo! Of course, Creedence Clearwater Revival. This is what's made them. This is my favorite LP of theirs, so this has to be in this pile. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. First LP, 1969, 1970. This one was their opening to superstardom. After they made their mark in Woodstock, these three guys did this record and zoomed to superstardom. And this one was, wow. This is Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Deja Vu. Must have in any collection. Whoop. Christopher Cross. Woo. Memories. I love it. Hall & Oates, another one of my favorites of the 80s. Hall & Oates, one of my favorite pop groups. And when I used to own a club in '86, and staple, man, Daryl Hall and John Oates. Here is the one and only Layla. Derek and the Donimos. Eric Clapton again. Look at that beautiful artwork. One and only LP. What else? There's nothing else to say. Look at that. So nice. Of course, Dire Straits. Ain't no collection without my man. This group, Dire Straits, and this is, of course, Brothers in Arms. You know, in fact, many people use this particular record as the reference, because of the sound quality of this particular record. The sound quality was just exceptional. The way it was recorded, the way it was mixed. Wow. Yeah. What's a collection without the first LP? Right here, The Doors. Jim Morrison. I don't think there's a collection out there of avid collectors without The Doors. This one is another Doors LP that's so, it's really not as popular as this one, but this is just as good. I have one more there that's seen better days, so I didn't bring it out anymore. Doors. Must have. Now, another one, I have about maybe 5 or 6 Doobie Brother LPs in there. But this volume 1, the Best of the Doobies and Best of the Doobies 2, this one is with Mike McDonald, and this one was without Mike McDonald. All of their best cuts are all here. All of them. You have these 2 records, you have the best, the very, very, very best of the Doobie Brothers. One of my favorite LPs of the Doobie Brothers are what were once vices are now habits. It was a very nice, you know, hard guitar Doobie Brothers, but super nice. All you need. Oh man, wow, the Eagles. In the recent death of what's his name? Oh man, I'm getting a senior moment. Anyway, these are my 2 favorite Eagle LPs of all time. And Don Henley and guys really made a mark in my life. I'm sure they have in yours. And all of their songs mean something. All of their songs make me happy. And I'm so sad when Glenn Frey passed just recently. I was so devastated and sad because not knowing that there will never ever be an original Eagles record ever again. Ouch, ouch. The Eagles. Oh, my favorite EWF. Earth, Wind and Fire. My favorite of all of them, this one. Okay, before I thought that this was my oldest record. This was in 1956. This is the first press, original press of this record. And it says, stereo effect, reprocessed from mono. Woo! This is where this man all started, in this particular LP. Blue Suede Shoes, I've Got a Woman, Tutti Frutti, all in here. If you can get a copy, get one. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Psychedelia, Greg Lake, another one who just passed recently. Must have. Whoa. If you're gonna have some Fleetwood Mac, it's gotta be this too. Rumors this is a direct-to-disc. I've had this forever. Paid a fortune for it when it first came out. And this Fleetwood Mac, just Fleetwood Mac, these 2 comprise the absolute best Fleetwood Mac songs ever. Yeah. Okay. Now this one reminds me of my college days. This is the first outing of Michael Franks, and his backup guys here were just unbelievable. Anyway, this is my favorite record of all time. Popsicle Toes, Eggplant, you know it, right? Yeah, Michael Franks. And of all the Dead LPs, this is my best. I love this one. There are other ones I really couldn't understand unless you took a talk, man, and really understand Jerry Garcia's wacko way of, doing stuff. But this one was favorite. Okay, down to this pile. The Guess Who, American Woman, Undone, No Sugar Tonight, Laughing This Eyes. These are the guys, Canadian band. Burton Cummings, Must Have. Are You Experienced? Jimi Hendrix. Power Trio, right here. And this one is when I first bought this, it comes in 2. It's a special record. It comes in 2. The other one, this one is Are You Experienced? and the other one is Bold as Love. 2 records in one. Woo. No explanations needed. Died too young, my absolute idol. What a guy. I love him. Blew everybody away. Another San Francisco band, another Bay Area band. This one is Jefferson Airplane, who later just went to the airplane. Jefferson Starship, I mean. Jefferson Star. This one was the young, sexy Grace Slick and Paul Kapner. This is such an iconic Jefferson Airplane record. This is where the song White Rabbit came from. And How Do You Feel? I love it. This one is a mono. This thing is still mono. This one is in 1967. New Yorker, Billy Joel. My favorite. 77. All the best songs. Memories. Must have. Of course, Tumbleweed Connection. Your Song, Love Song. All here. Where to Now, St. Peter, all here. Must have. The best LP, together with Honky Tonk Chateau, Honky Chateau. Of course, my other favorites are Madman Across the Water, Elton John. But I stopped listening to him ever since that one album, Don't Shoot Me, I'm Just a Piano Player. Beyond that, Quincy Jones, one of the best arrangers, conductors, songwriters ever. This particular one, Smackwater Jack, he has got this rendition of What's Going On by Marvin Gaye, right? And it has to be the most beautiful rendition I've ever heard of What's Going On. Toots Tillerman plays a harp there that will just blow you away. Killer version. They killed it. Must have. And of course, no rock collection is without this. King Crimson. Cast Your Faith to the Wind. Look at that cover, man. What? Probably scared a 2-year-old. You know, or a 3-year-old. I remember when I played one of these records here and I left the cover here. My daughter, when she was still so young, when she saw the cover, she kind of backed off a little bit. But she didn't cry though. She just, whoa, look at that, man. No need for explanations. Best LP. Okay. Led Zeppelin. Wow, right? The first one blew us away, 1969. And in 1969, they came up with the Led Zeppelin 2, also in 1969. And this one came up with A Whole Lot of Love. What a... Wow. Just... Wow, when I first heard it, I couldn't believe it. The talent, the singer, Robert Plant and Jimmy Page with the... Wow. You have to have this. If you don't have it, you gotta go out to your newly opened vinyl store and find a good copy. You know, I don't know how the reissues sound, but you know, they're pricey. I don't know, but all my records here are all first edition because I have not bought a single 180 gram record yet because actually I have too many records. I can't see myself spending for, unless I really want it and I don't have it, maybe like the Revolver LP. Stairway to Heaven is on the 3rd. Whole Lot of Love is on the 2nd. And all the other songs you'll never throw away. Never, ever. Must have. For the Loggins and Messina fans, this is my favorite one. This one, Loggins and Messina. These two guys just changed the face of country music. Made it country rock, country pop, country whatever. Kenny Loggins, Jim Messina. Nice. Dave Mason, original member of the Traffic, with this solid solo effort, Alone Together. This is the first psychedelic record I owned. Fabulous, wasn't it? Especially few talks and looking at the record spin. Woo! Man, what a record. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? Wow, right? One of my all-time favorite records. I know every word of every song. I can sing along with every word of every song in this record. Alone Together. Must have. You can find one, keep it, listen to it, memorize the songs, you'll love it. Just wonderful. Anyway, let me put this back in a minute, because if I don't now, I'll never will. Okay, later on. My favorite English blues guy, John Mayall and the Crusaders. This one is such a good record. The other John Mayall has come out with, wow, I don't know how many records. Well, the one that really left the mark with me is the Yardbird, John Mayall with the Yardbirds. This one and USA Union, if you recall that. I love it. Decca, original recording from 1970. Band on the Run, must have. All gold songs, must have. Wow. Linda McCartney, right here. Boom. Woo. Some people call me the Space Cowboy. Yeah. You don't know that? Everybody knows that song, right? This is the best Steve Miller LP for me.